all of your weekends were good, restful, all of that. Was my weekend restful? To an extent. Because I was having this conversation with somebody. Rest and sleep to me are two different things. Like, for an example, for an example, sorry about that. Something I was thinking about. Yeah, I came home from work on Friday and I was doing a couple of things, I want to say, and then next thing you know, I just knocked out and woke up 2, 3 hours later. And it wasn't like, oh, I got a good restful sleep. It was, oh, this guy's crazy. It was just like I fell asleep because I was so sleep deprived that it was just involuntary sleep. So that didn't feel like rest. That just felt like I happened to be asleep for a few hours. Whereas rest to me does not even necessarily mean sleep. Rest to me can mean rest to me can just mean like I don't have anything on my schedule for the day. I don't have to go to work for the day, and I don't have any extracurricular activities for the day, and I can just kind of relax and do things at my leisure. There's nothing like really intense or extra that I have to accomplish for the day. That's where I classify as rest. Good morning, Marshall. So my title of this live is that you can, my title was, but it was something to the effect of perspective. Someone took your same set of circumstances and won with that. There's something I used to watch on TV. I don't watch it anymore. I don't even know if they still have it on TV anymore, but it was the World Series of Poker. And the interesting thing is, I've played poker in real life. I've played poker online. And your hand is a secret, obviously, and your opponent's hand is a secret, obviously. So when you're watching the World Series of Poker, you get to see everybody's hand. And I know not everybody is going to know about poker, but you got the flop. I can't even remember the terms anymore. It's been that long. Anyways, when they put out the first 3 cards, then they put out the next card, and they put out the card on the river. I don't know. It's going to. So you would see these people jump hands. Like they would get a 2-7, 2-9. 2-9, I think they said is like statistically the worst starting hand in poker. And you're like, oh shoot, they have nothing. And then you see somebody else started with 2 kings or a king and an ace, or like a double 9 or double 10 and something that automatically is already a better hand than that 2-9. And then they go in and they're raising off of that. They raise off of that 2-9. And you're looking at them and you're like, what are you raising for? You have nothing. You have no card. You don't even have a pair. You don't even have one pair and you're raising. I don't understand. And then they're looking around at the other people on the table and they're thinking to themselves, what does this person have that they look so confident? And then they're waiting for something. Maybe they get another 2, so then they have a pair. Then on the river, maybe that pair of twos is still the only thing they have, which is statistically a very weak hand still. It's not even like a pair of twos is a good hand. There's so many combinations of things that can beat that hand. And then they'll big raise at the end. And then they're like, I wonder what you have. I wonder what you're bluff. I wonder if you're bluffing, but I can't afford to call your bluff. And the way how you look so confident, the way how that person looks so confident, just outbid everybody who got them out of the hand. And I'm using that analogy because life is like that too. You and somebody else could both be given that same 2-9. You sit there with that 2-9 and you're complaining about it. You're like, man, why did I get dealt such crappy cards? You know, like why is this happening in my life? Why did I not start off like this? Why didn't I get this advantage? Why do I not have this thing that this other person had to start out with? Because if I had that thing, you know, I would be much further along like they are, you know. And then there's somebody else in your position that is a positive thinker that could have the same, you know, rough circumstances that you have or similar ones, and they're like, how can I make the best of this? Carry themselves in such a way where you wouldn't even be able to tell the type of circumstances that they have had. And you know, I had to make a real life practice of that when I was going for this job interview, this job that I'm in right now. Because, wow, I was at one of the lowest points of my life in January of this year, which was just about 3 months ago. I was at a very low point. In the last decade, from like 2015 till 2025, anytime I applied for a job, I had a job in hand. So when I was applying for these jobs, I was never desperate for a job. It was just a matter of, all right, I'm leaving this one, but I'm not telling them that I'm leaving. So from here, I'm not telling them that I'm leaving. So from here, I'm just going to look around and use the job that I have now as a negotiating tool to be able to leverage myself to get myself in a better spot. This is the first time when I was left high and dry with nothing, and it was because of something really evil that was done to me at my last job. Really, really evil that I'm still mentally working my way, getting over it. It's probably going to take some time, to be honest with you, but I'm much better now than I was in January and December. That's neither here nor there, what I'm saying. I remember I don't look like how I feel because I'm actually kind of wears my heart on my sleeve. So it doesn't even matter if I'm telling you that this is how I'm feeling, or, you know, if I feel good, if I feel confident, that's how I look for the most part. And if I feel down, if I feel depressed, and, you know, there's things going on, you can pretty much tell visually how I look, how I sound. Not how I look as in how I appearance wise. I just mean like probably my body language and expressions. That's what I'm trying to say. So the person actually told me, hey, my suggestion to you is to visualize. is to just visualize the place that you want to be in mentally, as in not as in the job you want to be in, but visualize how you want to feel, and then when you go into those interviews, act like you are in that place. And it was kind of interesting because I did that. I sat there and I was like, I really don't even want to do this interview, nor do I even want this job. But if I give that off, then I definitely won't get the job. And whether I want it or not, I need it. And it just reminded me of something that my mom said to me when I first got my diagnosis, my mental health diagnosis of anxiety disorder and depression and agoraphobia, panic disorder, and all that fun stuff. And when I first got that, that was rough. And I remember at that time, when I would leave my house, I wasn't concerned about even how I looked. You know, I would every day was just, anytime I would leave at all would just be sweatpants and tank top, and you know, my hair would be crazy looking, and it was just, I didn't care. And then one time my mom, I remember her telling me something just like what that person. She said to me, do you think that you would feel better if you got yourself together, morning Cass, if you put yourself together and acted as if you were well, or acted as if you were the person that you're trying to get back to? And I remember when she said that to me, I was like, no, I'll dress the part and look the part when I feel the part. You know, that's what I said at that time. Then I remember after some time went by, I did start changing my appearance, and I was like, I'm gonna start going back to the gym, and I'm gonna get myself some different clothes, and I'm going to put more effort into a better appearance, and you know, I'm gonna find some activities to do for the day, whatever it was that I was doing. And it didn't start to make me feel better on an immediate thing, but over time, like these little tricks where you trick your mind and you remind it of whatever good parts that you can extract from your situation, because there always is. It's not always easy to find the good in whatever time period that it is that you're going through, but there's always some. Because I remember I told y'all, when my dad first got sick, everyone saw the videos and stuff that I posted of me taking care of him, spending time with him, playing, singing for him, and all that kind of stuff, right? When my dad first got sick, when he first got his mini stroke, and my mom pulled me aside one day and said, I'm gonna need help taking care of him. I was not like, yes, that's my duty as a son to take care of him, because our relationship was not in a great place when he got sick. I mean, it was not in a great place in general for a big chunk of my adult life. So I was thinking like, it's not really fair that now all of a sudden, all this time when, you know, a lot of time when he didn't take care of me, now I have to go assist with taking care of him when he gets sick. Like, how's that fair? You know? So, but, and then when I started taking care of him, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. In fact, I started to enjoy the time, but then I also felt like the only person there to take care of him other than my mom is me. So it was like we had shifts. It was basically just the two of us taking care of him. So I was like, there's so much other family and nobody's here. It's just us. So I felt a little bit resentful at times. But then, when he was gone, I was grateful that I had all that time to spend with him. That in the time that I spent with him, I was able to get closure from everything that had bothered me before. And I missed him, probably more than I would have, to be honest with you. More than I would have if not for that time that we spent together. And I even missed taking care of him to an extent. Because it's hard to do all the time, but it's not like... yeah. It's hard to do all the time, but when he's just no longer there at all. It took me a while to bounce back from that. But anyways, friends and family. I'm back at the place doing the thing that I don't like to do. Hey. Oh. Hey, how you doing, Karina? I gotta go. Talk to y'all later. It's Monday, I get it.